Interview by Matt Broderick interview and has been converted from text to speech, but the full text can be viewed on Matt's website, yiwetshave.com. Update. Since this interview, the Blackland razor has suspended its Kickstarter campaign, but it's due to relaunch on August the 1st, 2015, but at a lower cost point than before. But here follows the original interview as it was posted to my website. And so on with this week's interview with Shane Swartzlander from Blackland Razors. Shane has developed a prototype stainless steel safety razor called the Blackbird Safety Razor. I have been following his updates on developing the Blackbird and reached out to him for an interview. Shane was kind enough to accept, and the result is below. 1. On the off chance that readers don't know who you are, please tell us a bit about yourself, family, work, hobbies, and how you fit into the wet shaving community. My name is Shane Swartzlander. I'm 25 and live in Indiana with my wife, our cat, and our rabbit. I moved here from California to study physics at Purdue, and I can't wait to get back to somewhere with mountains. In my spare time, I like running and learning to play guitar. I have begun training for a third marathon. My dream is to someday backpack the John Muir Trail. Of course, you're probably here because I'm the designer of the new stainless steel safety razor, Blackbird, which is now on Kickstarter, Blackbird Razor Kickstarter. 2. Can you tell the readers anything about your struggles when starting wet shaving or anything you struggle with now? Shaving my chin. Even after a few years, I still have a hard time shaving the underside of my chin well. Blackland Razors interview on yiwetshave.com. 3. What is your current go-to shave setup? My basic setup is a Blackbird razor, of course, paired usually with an Astra SP. My two go-to soaps are Courage by Soap Commander and Pro Raso CO Bigelow Cream, followed up with Pinot Clubman. There are fancier shaves that I rotate in, but if I had to pick one foolproof setup for the rest of my life, that would be it. 4. How has the wet shaving hobby changed since you started? I started wet shaving a few years ago and kept my basic setup for about 2 years without really getting into the hobby. Designing my own razor really kicked up my involvement, and my counter has gotten fuller and my wallet has gotten lighter ever since. 5. When did you start thinking about creating your own razor? Late in the spring of 2014, I was working on developing a unique clipless bike pedal design I had thought of. I had the idea all worked out in my head, but I can't draw, so I couldn't get it onto paper. Frustrated, I decided that instead of drawing it, I'd just make it on CAD, computer-assisted design, directly. Problem being, I didn't know CAD. But, if there's anything I believe, it's that we're all experts with the internet on our side. With that, I took to learning rudimentary CAD programs. One day, during my morning shave, I decided that it would be a fun challenge to make a safety razor in CAD to develop my skills. The whole thing snowballed from there, and I began 3D printing prototype after prototype, mainly for fun. After a bunch of these plastic razors, I landed on a design that I really loved, and I realized that other people might enjoy it too. The idea of making the Blackbird razor a real product was born. 6. What do you feel makes the Blackland razor stand out and makes it unique? The looks. Let's be honest, this is a sexy razor. It's got sleek curves, an angular head, long grooves instead of knurling, and comes in 2 awesome finishes. The quality. It's machined from solid stainless steel to very tight tolerances by a highly capable manufacturer, and it shows. The fit is truly top-notch and proper blade alignment is guaranteed. The shave. Blackbird is designed with a mild blade gap, but shaves best at a shallower angle like an SE. The unique shaving angle, combined with a mild gap, results in a shave that is simultaneously mild and highly efficient. The options. Blackbird is available with a 70mm handle or 101mm handle. It's also available in both a unique black oxide finish and a classic brushed stainless steel finish. Customers are also able to mix and match the finishes on different pieces of the razor. This gives 8 unique possible color combinations. Adding in the handle options yields a total of 16 different possible combinations. 7. What are the technical specifications of the Blackbird? Blade gap, 0.58mm blade exposure, 0.1mm weight, assembled with 101mm handle, 110G weight, assembled with 70mm handle, 90G material, 303 stainless steel country, USA. The razor was designed to be both mild and very efficient. To accomplish this, a mild blade gap was paired with a shallower shaving angle more akin to an SE. The shallow angle is 26 degrees and the steep angle is 28.9. The result is a very comfortable and efficient shave. 8. Would you like to give anyone in particular a shout-out or honorable mention? Darkbulb has been a great ally. He's a safety razor nut and owns more razors than I've ever heard of. Because of his extensive knowledge and huge stainless steel razor collection, I asked him to be the first person to review the razor. You can see his review here. On top of all that, Darkbulb is just a great guy and an asset to the community. 9. For someone new to this community, how do they get the most out of it? Start reading and watching videos. There are so many amazing resources available for new shavers. With dozens of quality blogs, like this one, several great video instructors, and countless groups and forums, a new shaver has everything he needs to get the most out of his shave. 10. Has anything surprised you about producing a product, or the response of the wet shaving community? Producing this product has been full of surprises. The first surprise I ran into was just how long everything takes. To get from my first prototypes to having the finished razor in my hands took about a year. Once I had a product and shipped it out to be reviewed by Darkbulb and Nick of the Nick Shaves YouTube channel, linked below, I was surprised by just how amazing it felt to have other people using my razor and getting a great shave. It's truly a high I hope to repeat over and over again. I've also been surprised by just how supportive most in the community have been. Sure, there are some that are mistrusting of anything new, but mostly the community has been embracing and encouraging. 11. Where do you see the Blackbird razor, and yourself, in 5 years from now? Right now, I'm just hoping we can get funded on Kickstarter and start getting this great razor into customers' hands. If we don't reach the funding goal, then Blackland won't survive a month, let alone 5 years. I have some loose plans for different offerings down the road, but the next 24 days has my undivided attention right now. If the campaign is successful, I'll have to come back and tell you some of my long-term ideas. As for me, the next 5 years will be pretty interesting. If I have my way, I'll be at the helm of Blackland LLC as we grow and expand our offerings. My wife and I will hopefully be living somewhere mountainous and maybe kids will be on the horizon. Of course, 5 years ago I was living in California, wanting to be doctor, and now I live in Indiana and design shaving goods. Life is tough to predict, but that's what makes it great. Blackland Razor's Blackbird had disassembled. 12. A lot of people have been trying their hand at artisan soap making, restorations, and honing, and even some new safety razors. If you had one piece of advice to give to someone who wanted to start a business centered on wet shaving, what would it be? Let people in on your journey. One of the best things I ever did was start a blog on my website and openly share my story. I think people like to see how the sausage is made, and sharing your successes and failures helps people build an attachment to you and your product. In such a competitive world, it's important to make that personal connection. It also helps you get feedback on your project from the very people you hope to sell it to. Don't wait until you have a product to tell people about it. I wish I had begun my story on the first day I started designing razors. You can read about my journey on my blog. 13. I know you have it on your blog, but what is the story behind the design name color of the Blackbird razor? In designing the Blackbird, I drew inspiration from the iconic SR-71 Blackbird reconnaissance aircraft. The razor combines the sleek lines, curves, and sharp angles that have come to define its namesake. To complete the look, we chose to finish the razor in a beautiful and unique black oxide finish. Of course, customers can now choose between a brushed stainless steel finish and black oxide. 14. When your Kickstarter meets and exceeds its funding goal, do you have any idea for extra rewards for hitting higher benchmarks? I have a couple ideas up my sleeve, but nothing is set in stone. I'd love to hear directly from backers about what they want. Reach me at shane@blacklandrazors.com with your ideas. I want to thank Shane for taking the time to talk about his project. He has obviously put a lot of time into his design and I think it shows. For full disclosure, I was not compensated by Shane or Blackland Razors in any way. However, I have put my money where my mouth is and funded a Blackland Blackbird Safety Razor Kickstarter. There was something about it that really drew me in. This will be my first new razor ever. Give it a look and I think you will like what you see. Here is a rundown of the links in the article and also a few reviews. Nick Shaves has a video review of the Blackland razor, as well as The Shaving Room has a hands-on look at the Blackbird Safety Razor, and The Shave Den 2 has a hands-on, first look at the Blackland razor. Blackland Razor blog has more info on the project's current status. So, thanks Shane for taking the time to do the interview. As always, if you liked the information then please share it with others. Please leave a comment, share, like, or tweet so others can see it. Have a great day and a smooth shave. Sign off from Matt here at whyiwetshave.com interview with Blackland Razors. And thanks to Steve Hardy for doing the text-to-speech video and posting it to YouTube to share with others too.